that the Lord was really coming for my life today. To be real honest and real forward. It was just like I was saying in a vlog that I have not posted, that it's really just been like a situation for me right now where I feel real Jonah-ish. And just last night I heard God tell me like, Tarshish is out of the question, you need to go to Nineveh. And I'm like, alright Lord, I see what you're trying to do here, and okay. You know, like I really just like would prefer to just kind of do my own thing, you know, and like focus on that. And then it was crazy because my pastor wrote me a note on a paper, and he goes to me, well, you do know that you're not going to be able to hide in 2020 anymore. And I'm like, and it's just crazy because last night my thing is, while I'm in the showers praying and singing and really just exalting and, you know, talking to the Lord and really just kind of delving in to him and everything. And last night I was just really praying because, you know, he allowed my eyes to be opened and to see certain things, because I was getting really comfortable, which is like spiritual death. Comfort is spiritual death. And you know, you want some level of comfort. Of course, you don't want it to always feel like everything is like pounding on you, and you know that you can't essentially you know, breathe or whatever the case is. But at the same time, we also want to be like aware and cautious and understand that this is not supposed to be a bed of you know, rose petals and everything all the time. And so, you know, one thing that the Lord was saying to me, like, or that I said to the Lord actually, I'm like, Lord, you know, when you speak, like, you really listen to me. You know, I asked him a question in the morning, and legit, by that evening, I had already gotten a response. I had already gotten the answer. And I'm like, Lord have mercy, you know. And it's just like, I really have to take into account and assess, you know, the people that I have around me, the people that are looking to attach themselves to me, the people that need to be cut off, the things and the habits that need to be cut off, the things that drive the lust that eats my flesh, you know, that eats at my spirit man, that's brewed in my flesh, you know, and really tame that, you know, because the enemy's just really trying to like set people up. And you know, I just don't. And I'm like, God, you know, I know where I need to be, I know what I need to be doing, and stuff like that. But you know, again, we have an idea of what we think and what we want and what we want to see and our desires. And I was talking about that in Sunday school this morning with some of my young people, and I'm just like, you know, it's very easy to become distracted. It's very easy to question your commitment. But when you're truly committed to something, it doesn't matter whether you feel like it or you feel better or not. You know, you got to be able to continue to push forward. And the message that my pastor was preaching today, when I tell you it was fire, you know, he was like, you know, don't look at the obvious when God speaks. Like when he says something, the enemy will sit there and he will come, he would try to, you know, bait and trap us, and he would try to say, oh, you know, this is the way you need to go, this looks right. Oh my God, I don't want nothing that looks good. You know, Tarshish looked real good. Nineveh is the great choice. That's the God choice. That's where Jonah needed to go. And I'm like, not that I want to be like, you know, I'm not complaining like Jonah or anything like that, but I was definitely not focused on what I needed to be focused on. And you know, I definitely have to take some time to do that, and definitely, you know, reassess and cut a lot of things, because last May, it's about to be almost a year, my sister and I started a production company. And you know, we have another production coming up in June, and I really have to, you know, pull back and say, okay, this is something that I feel that the Lord has led us to do and birthed within me to do, you know, to write and to produce and do those type things. And you know, I really see that the enemy is definitely trying to hold us back and distract us and everything like that. And I feel like that's what a lot of that is. But having to get some self-discipline and, you know, restructure on, you know, what we're saying that we need to be doing and what we're called to do, we have to essentially, you know, make that choice or whatever and assess that. Another thing that I have been focusing on is the self journey in me, and building up a certain level of confidence in myself. A lot of people look at me and they think, oh no, she doesn't suffer from, you know, any confidence deficiencies. She doesn't, you know, lack, you know, security in herself or anything like that. But that is something that I ever so often struggle with, and I think I might have posted a video where I talked about that. But just really addressing that and owning it, and saying, you know what, I have value, and that I like the value that I place, you know what I mean? And that comes with, one, restructuring myself and reminding myself that Jesus is my core, Jesus is in me, and if God is in me, then I have to be valuable. You know, the Holy Spirit is priceless, you know, and that means that that's something that can't be bought. So I know that there's value within me from that perspective. Now, let alone from a natural perspective, you know, I don't have to be comparative or look like someone else or be like somebody else. I just have to legit tell myself and make up in my mind that that's the focus, that that being me is great. Being me is good enough, and I'm unique and I'm different. I'm cut from a different cloth, and you know, that's fine, you know. And that was something that I had struggled with, because I felt, you know, having being made fun of in my past, you know what I mean, that I have to, you know, fit within some image or whatever the case is, and sometimes I'm better at, you know, not focusing on that type stuff than other times. But in most cases, it's really just me in my own head, just really trying to like reason with myself about, you know, I don't have the right for this, and you know, I'm not like this, so that makes me less valuable. But no, that's really not what it's about, and I really have to, you know, work on changing that mindset, and I will. And I'm not going into 2020 carrying any of that. 2019 has really been a real interesting year. I have many losses, but I've had very many beautiful gains and wins in my life. I have met and encountered some wonderful people, and just because I encountered these wonderful people and have had amazing experiences with these persons, doesn't necessarily mean that they have to stay in my life. My best friend last night was really drilling in on me, and you know, she was just really just saying, like, you know, sometimes you encounter people and you encounter things, not even things, let's talk about people, not for them to necessarily stay in your life or to have a particular role that they need to play in your life, but sometimes it's literally just for a lesson learned, or for you to assess and say, I like this, I don't like that, you know, this is something I can appreciate and tolerate, this is things that I'm absolutely not going to be able to compromise for. I can't walk on that thing, I can't allow that toxicity in my life, you know. And she was just really speaking from a place of realness, and I just really appreciate it, and I really appreciate her, and I know for a fact that, you know, that's just 100, you know. And anyway, I'm kind of rambling now, but as I close out, you know, my birthday is on the cusp, so I really just want to, you know, do something different, something open, something new, and just really, you know, transform, you know, me and stuff like that. So hope you guys had a very happy Sunday. I didn't even ask that. And you know, tell me something that you think that you would want to do for your new year. And new year doesn't have to be 1/1/2020. It does not have to be that. I think that's the misconception. Your new year can start now. Your new year could have already started last month or earlier this year. Who knows? So don't be cliche and think that you need to have New Year's resolutions because it's a 2020 year. Just know that you can make your new year and start with newness at any point in time, especially as the Lord leads.